And if I told you that exhaustion is not caused by the amount of work you do, but by the way you do it, and that fatigue is not the inevitable result of physical or mental effort, but the consequence of unconscious energy drainage through tension, restlessness, and disconnection from the infinite cosmic battery that powers every galaxy and every atom in existence? What if I reveal to you that I have worked 18 hours a day for decades, writing books, giving lectures, building organizations, teaching thousands of students, traveling across continents, and managing complex responsibilities? Yet I have never experienced the chronic exhaustion that plagues modern workers who collapse after 8 hours of routine tasks. Because I discovered in 1916 a scientific technique that allows you to consciously recharge your body with unlimited cosmic energy while you work, turning labor from an energy-draining burden into an energy-generating celebration. This is not motivation or caffeine, fueled productivity hacks, or time management tricks. This is spiritual science that reveals the hidden mechanism through which your body actually receives life force. Not primarily from food or sleep, but from the cosmic energy flowing through the medulla oblongata at the base of your brain. And when you learn to consciously draw from this infinite source through willpower and breath control, you become immune to fatigue, regardless of how much work you perform. I am Paramahansa Yogananda, and in 1916 I developed the energization exercises, a revolutionary system that has transformed weak bodies into dynamos of vitality and exhausted minds into fountains of creative power. And today I give you the exact technique to work all day without fatigue, while actually increasing your energy level with each passing hour. Before we dive into this life-changing practice, activate the frequency of unlimited energy by writing in the comments, "Infinite cosmic energy flows through me, and I work without fatigue in divine power." This is not a wish for more energy. It is a command that opens the channel between your consciousness and the inexhaustible cosmic source. And by declaring it, you prepare your entire nervous system to receive this teaching. Now listen with absolute attention, because what I am about to reveal will shatter the fundamental lie that modern civilization accepts as truth, the lie that work depletes you and rest restores you, when in reality conscious work energizes you and unconscious rest wastes your life force. The catastrophic reason that 99% of workers end their days exhausted, requiring hours of passive entertainment and stimulants just to feel marginally alive, is not because they worked too hard, but because they worked unconsciously, allowing their life energy to leak through 1,000 invisible cracks of tension, worry, resistance, and mechanical movement disconnected from willpower and breath. Watch any office worker at the end of their shift, shoulders hunched forward, eyes glazed with fatigue, mind foggy and reactive, body desperate for couch and screen. And you are witnessing not the natural result of 8 hours of productive activity, but the tragic consequence of 8 hours of energy hemorrhaging through improper use of the human instrument. That worker sat at their desk with muscles chronically tensed in areas that required no tension, holding their breath unconsciously during moments of concentration, allowing anxiety about deadlines to create knots of blocked energy in their solar plexus, letting their minds scatter in 17 directions simultaneously instead of focusing single-pointedly on one task at a time, eating lunch while still mentally working, thereby preventing proper digestion and energy extraction from food, and most devastatingly, never once consciously drawing fresh cosmic energy into their body to replace the energy being expended in mental and physical activity. This is like trying to drive across a continent on one tank of gasoline, wondering why the car stopped running, never realizing that gas stations exist along the entire route, where refueling takes 60 seconds. The cosmic gas stations are always available, always open, always offering unlimited free energy, but you must know they exist, and you must know the technique to access them. Most people live their entire lives running on the limited battery charge they received at birth, supplemented weekly by food and sleep, never discovering that they can plug directly into the cosmic power source and draw unlimited energy through conscious will. They wonder why they feel chronically tired. They blame their age, their workload, their stress, their lack of sleep, their poor diet, never suspecting that the real problem is their complete ignorance of how energy actually enters the human body. Modern medicine and nutrition science have convinced people that energy comes from calories, from chemical reactions in mitochondria, from adequate rest and proper nutrition, and while these factors support energy production, they are not the primary source. The primary source is cosmic vibration, the omnipresent energy that created and sustains the entire universe, and your body is designed with a specific receiving antenna located in the medulla oblongata that draws this energy in constantly, but this antenna only works at full capacity when activated by conscious will and directed attention. When I was a young teacher in India, running a school for boys in Ranchi, I observed that traditional exercise methods exhausted the students rather than energizing them, because they performed movements mechanically without awareness of the life force flowing through their bodies. And I realized that the ancient yogis possessed a secret that modern physical education had completely lost, the secret that energy follows attention. That power can consciously direct life force to any part of the body, and that the body is not a solid machine but an electrical system that can be recharged instantly from cosmic sources through proper technique. I spent months in deep meditation asking for divine guidance on how to make this yogic science practical for modern people who could not spend hours in lotus position but needed to remain active and productive in worldly responsibilities. And in 1916, the complete system of energization exercises downloaded into my consciousness in one revelation, a series of movements combined with breath, will, and concentration that allows anyone, regardless of age or physical condition, to consciously recharge their body with cosmic energy in minutes. I began teaching these exercises to my students, and the results were immediate and dramatic. Boys who were weak and sickly became strong and vibrant. Students who could barely concentrate for 10 minutes developed steel-like focus for hours. The entire atmosphere of the school transformed from one of struggle and fatigue to one of joyful dynamic activity. When I brought these techniques to America in 1920, I encountered a culture even more desperately in need of this knowledge. A civilization of people working themselves into early graves, fueling their exhausted bodies with coffee and sugar, collapsing into unconscious entertainment each evening, accepting chronic fatigue as the normal price of adult responsibility. I have taught this energization technique to thousands of Western students, and without exception, those who practice it faithfully experience a complete transformation in their relationship with work and fatigue. They discover that they can work longer hours with greater concentration while feeling more energized at the end of the day than at the beginning. This is not hyperbole or exaggeration. This is the predictable result of understanding and applying the scientific law that governs how life force operates in the human body. Now let me explain with absolute precision the mechanism through which fatigue develops and how conscious energization prevents it, because once you understand this mechanism, you will never view tiredness the same way again. Your body is not a chemical factory that burns fuel and produces waste. Your body is an electromagnetic field organized by consciousness and animated by life force called prana in India, and this life force flows through invisible channels called nadis in the subtle body, corresponding roughly to the nervous system in the physical body. When life force flows freely and abundantly through these channels, every cell receives the energy it needs for optimal function. Your mind remains clear and focused. Your emotions stay balanced and positive, and you can perform tremendous amounts of work without any sense of depletion, because you are not working from your limited personal battery, but from the unlimited cosmic power source. However, when life force becomes blocked or restricted in its flow, certain areas of your body and mind become energy starved, and this energy starvation manifests as fatigue, pain, foggy thinking, emotional reactivity, and eventual disease if the blockage continues long enough. What creates these blockages? Three primary factors: physical tension, mental restlessness, and disconnection from the medulla antenna. Physical tension means holding muscles tight when they should be relaxed, creating dams in the energy flow. You cannot do mental work with tense shoulders, yet most people do exactly this, unconsciously tensing their entire upper body while sitting at a desk, thereby blocking the energy that should be flowing to their brain. Mental restlessness means allowing your attention to scatter among multiple concerns simultaneously instead of focusing single-pointedly on the task at hand. And scattered attention creates scattered energy that accomplishes little while consuming much. Disconnection from the medulla antenna means living entirely in ego consciousness, identified with your small, separate self, unaware that you are connected to infinite intelligence and infinite power through the spiritual center at the base of your brain. When you work in this disconnected state, you are like a lamp unplugged from the electrical outlet, trying to generate light from its own non-existent internal power source. No wonder you feel exhausted. But the moment you plug back into the cosmic outlet through conscious awareness at the medulla, everything changes. Energy pours into your system, fatigue dissolves, mental clarity sharpens, creative solutions appear, and you discover the profound truth I have been teaching for decades. Tiredness is not caused by work. Tiredness is caused by working while disconnected from your divine energy source. Now I give you the exact technique that I have practiced daily since 1916 and taught to every serious student of Kriya Yoga. The technique that allows you to consciously recharge your body with cosmic energy so completely that you can work without fatigue for as long as necessary. This practice has two applications: the full morning energization that charges your entire system for the day ahead, and the quick recharge technique that you use throughout your workday whenever you notice energy dropping. Let me teach you both, starting with the full morning practice, which takes approximately 12 minutes but saves you hours of wasted time in low energy unproductive fog later in the day. Upon waking, before breakfast, before checking any device, stand in a private space where you will not be disturbed, wearing loose, comfortable clothing that does not restrict your breathing or movement. Stand with feet shoulder width apart, spine erect but not rigid, arms hanging naturally at your sides. Close your eyes and bring your attention to the point at the base of your skull where your spine enters your brain. This is the medulla oblongata, the mouth of God as I call it, the primary receiving station for cosmic energy. Take 7 slow deep breaths, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. With each breath, consciously feeling that you are drawing cosmic energy in through the medulla and distributing it throughout your entire body. After 7 breaths, keep your eyes closed and begin the energization sequence. Bring your attention to your right hand and forearm. Inhale deeply and simultaneously tense your right hand into a fist and tense your entire right forearm with tremendous willpower. Not just muscular effort but conscious will directing energy from the medulla down through your shoulder, through your arm, into your hand, making the muscles vibrate with intensity. Hold this tension with breath held for 6 seconds, feeling energy pouring into that area like electricity into a wire. Then exhale completely while relaxing all tension instantly, and for 3 seconds simply feel the energy buzzing and tingling in your right hand and forearm. This is crucial. The feeling phase is where you develop awareness of energy as distinct from muscular sensation. Repeat this same sequence with your left hand and forearm. Then move to your right upper arm, tensing with inhale and will, holding 6 seconds, releasing with exhale, feeling 3 seconds. Then left upper arm, then both shoulders together, then chest, then abdomen, then lower back, then hips, then right thigh, then left thigh, then right calf, then left calf. Work through your entire body systematically, tensing each area with maximum willpower while visualizing energy flowing from the medulla to that specific location, then relaxing completely and feeling the energy presence. The entire sequence takes approximately 10 minutes when done properly with full concentration, and by the end your entire body will be humming with vitality, your mind will be crystal clear, and you will have consciously charged every cell with fresh cosmic energy that will sustain you for hours of productive work. But this morning practice is only the foundation. The real mastery comes in learning to recharge yourself instantly throughout your workday using the quick technique that takes 60 seconds and can be done anywhere, even in the middle of a busy office. Here is how it works. The moment you notice fatigue beginning to creep into your mind or body, the moment you feel your focus wavering, your energy dropping, your motivation sagging, Immediately stop whatever you are doing, close your eyes if possible, or simply soften your gaze. Take 3 deep breaths while bringing your attention to the medulla, and then perform this rapid recharge. Tense your entire body all at once with maximum willpower while inhaling deeply. Hold the tension and the breath for 6 seconds while mentally commanding cosmic energy flow into me now. Then exhale explosively while releasing all tension and shaking your body vigorously for 3 seconds to throw off all fatigue and stagnant energy. Repeat this 3 times. The entire process takes less than 60 seconds, but delivers such a powerful surge of fresh energy that you can immediately return to your work with renewed focus and vitality. I have practiced this technique in the middle of writing sessions that stretched for 8 hours, in the middle of lectures that demanded intense concentration for 2 hours, in the middle of administrative work that required detailed attention to complex problems, and every single time, this 60-second recharge eliminated the fatigue and restored my energy to peak levels. The key is not to wait until you are completely exhausted and collapse is imminent, but to recharge at the first subtle sign of energy decline, thereby maintaining consistently high energy throughout your entire workday instead of fighting through progressive depletion. Most people ignore the early warning signals of fatigue and push through with willpower and stimulants, becoming more depleted with each hour until they are running on fumes by mid-afternoon, requiring massive recovery time in the evening. You will do the opposite. You will recharge proactively every 2 to 3 hours, even if you do not feel particularly tired, thereby staying ahead of energy depletion rather than constantly trying to recover from it. Now let me tell you exactly what will happen in the first 24 hours after you begin this practice, because the changes occur so rapidly and so dramatically that you must be prepared to recognize them and trust the process. This very night, before sleep, you will practice the full evening energization, charging your entire body with cosmic energy using the same systematic tensing and relaxing technique I described for the morning practice. And you will end with this command spoken silently in the state of quietude. While I sleep, cosmic energy repairs every cell of my body, and I awaken fully energized for tomorrow's work. Your subconscious will accept this command and direct life force intelligently throughout your system during sleep, transforming your rest from passive unconsciousness into active regeneration. Tomorrow morning you will wake naturally without alarm at least 30 minutes earlier than usual, and instead of feeling groggy and resistant to the day, you will feel alert and eager to begin. This is the first sign that you have tapped into cosmic energy instead of relying solely on physical rest. Perform the full morning energization immediately upon rising, and you will notice that your body feels lighter, more responsive, more alive than it has in years. As you move into your workday, pay attention to your mental clarity. You will find that you can focus on complex tasks with much less effort, that solutions appear more quickly, that your thinking remains sharp hour after hour without the usual afternoon fog. This is because your brain is receiving abundant life force instead of operating on limited reserves. Around mid-morning, perhaps 3 hours into your work, perform the 60-second quick recharge, even if you do not feel tired, and notice what happens. Instead of maintaining your energy level, the recharge actually increases it. You feel more energized after the recharge than before you began working. This is the revolutionary discovery that overturns conventional wisdom about work and fatigue. When you work while consciously connected to cosmic energy, work itself becomes energizing because the act of directing will and concentration opens the channels wider, allowing more energy to flow through, and you end up with more energy than you started with. By the end of your first day practicing these techniques, you will still feel vital and creative when you would normally feel exhausted and depleted. And you will realize that everything you believed about the relationship between work and fatigue was completely backwards. But I must give you critical understanding so you apply this power wisely and avoid the mistakes that ambitious students sometimes make when they first discover unlimited energy. This technique does not eliminate your need for sleep or proper nutrition or occasional rest. Cosmic energy sustains your body, but your body still operates according to natural rhythms that must be respected. The goal is not to work 24 hours a day until you collapse. The goal is to work during your natural productive hours with such high quality of energy and focus that you accomplish in 6 conscious hours what previously took you 12 unconscious hours, leaving time for meditation, creative pursuits, relationships, and regenerative rest. Furthermore, this energization technique works most powerfully when combined with the fundamental principle that I have emphasized throughout all my teachings: calm activity and active calmness. You must learn to work with tremendous focus and willpower while maintaining complete inner peace and physical relaxation. And this seems paradoxical to the Western mind that equates effort with tension, but it is the secret of inexhaustible energy. Watch how most people work, and you will see them creating unnecessary tension in their face, their jaw, their shoulders, their stomach, holding their breath unconsciously, frowning with concentration, making their entire body participate in tasks that require only specific muscles or mental attention. This wastes tremendous energy and creates exhaustion. I teach my students to work with what I call relaxed intensity, bringing maximum willpower and focus to the task while keeping all muscles that are not directly involved completely relaxed, breathing smoothly and rhythmically throughout all activities, maintaining a slight smile and peaceful expression even during intense concentration. This combination of intensity and relaxation, of dynamic will and inner stillness, creates the optimal condition for energy to flow freely. And when energy flows freely, work becomes effortless and fatigue becomes impossible. I have spent my entire life demonstrating that spiritual development and worldly productivity are not opposites but partners. That meditation and manifestation flow from the same source of divine consciousness, that the yogi who has mastered energy control can accomplish more in the material world than the worldly person who knows nothing of spiritual science. The tragedy of modern civilization is not that people work too hard, but that they work stupidly, exhausting themselves through ignorance of how their own energy system functions, accepting fatigue as inevitable instead of recognizing it as a symptom of disconnection from their infinite power source. The energization technique I have given you today is not just a productivity hack or a stress management tool. It is your introduction to conscious mastery of the life force that animates your body. And through this mastery, you can transform not only your work capacity, but your entire experience of physical existence. You can become a human dynamo, radiating vitality and creative power, accomplishing great works without strain, inspiring others through your example of what is possible when spirit and matter work in conscious cooperation. But this transformation requires practice. It requires that you actually perform the energization exercises every single morning and evening without exception, and that you use the quick recharge throughout your day every time you notice energy declining. Knowledge without application remains theoretical, but knowledge applied becomes experiential truth that changes your life forever. Tonight before sleep, perform the full energization. Tomorrow morning before your day begins, perform it again. Throughout your workday tomorrow, recharge at least 3 times. Continue this for 7 consecutive days and you will have direct proof that cosmic energy is real, that willpower can consciously direct it, and that work performed while plugged into the infinite source energizes rather than depletes you. Subscribe to this channel and activate notifications, because the teachings I am releasing publicly represent decades of spiritual research and practical testing. Knowledge that was previously available only to dedicated disciples, but which I am now offering freely to all sincere seekers. Write in the comments right now, infinite cosmic energy flows through me and I work without fatigue in divine power. This declaration seals your commitment and activates the spiritual support available to all who walk this path of conscious energy mastery. The technique has been given, the science has been explained. The results are guaranteed. The only question is whether you will apply what you now know or let this teaching pass through your awareness as interesting information that changes nothing. Choose action. Begin tonight. Transform your experience of work from exhausting burden to energizing celebration. The cosmic battery is fully charged and waiting to power your life. Plug in now